Eat, Sleep, Sweat, actually, when I was 13, I wrote a paper. I had an assignment in high school, my freshman year, to write a 10-year program or a 10-year paper about where you see yourself. And at the time, what I wrote was essentially exactly what ultimately happened in my life. I wanted to study sports medicine, and then I wanted to eventually go on to have my own fitness studio. And so really, I think what inspired the drive to want to do that is that I grew up as an athlete. I've been active my whole life. And from between coaching and being an athlete and just working with kids and everything that has kind of been my life up until now and even currently, it was just, I really ultimately looking back feel like I didn't really have any other choice. Not because of lack of resources or anything or opportunity, but just really because this is where my heart is. This is where my skills are. This is where my interest is. Like everything intersects at this place. The things I'm good at, the things that I love, and the things that just have come my way in the way of opportunity, they all intersect at this place. And so Eat, Sleep, Sweat was born of a range of different experiences that culminated with doing the work that I do now. I have creative freedom to do whatever I want. I think that you hear personal trainer, which is a large part of what I do. I wouldn't say it's all of what I do, but it's a large part of what I do. And I think you have a very streamlined or narrow-minded vision of what that might be. And because I have a background in dance and I have a background in athletic training and physical therapy and pretty much everything under the kinesiology umbrella I've touched on a little bit at some point in my career. So because I have had all that experience, I get to pull it all together. And when I'm creating my programs or even designing new programs and workshops and doing community events and things like that, I get to pull from all that experience and do something that is very different from what your typical or average personal trainer might be able to do with you with regard to their education or experience or even just imagination, because I have so much to pull from. Absolutely. I grew up participating in a program which is now called LA84. It used to be called AAF, Amateur Athletic Foundation, and it was a foundation that was funded from monies that were left over from the 1984 Olympics that took place here in LA. And their motto is life ready through sport. And so you participate in a range of different sports, but in the midst of doing that, they're preparing you for life. And so a large part of what I learned as an athlete, from time management to leadership skills to discipline to teamwork, all of those things apply to what I do now. And I think would apply to anybody's life, regardless of what they do, but particularly for me now as an entrepreneur, I have to be very diligent about how I manage my time. It's easy for me to say, oh, I work for myself, I can do it later, and then find myself kind of falling behind. So I have to be a self-starter, I have to be motivated, I have to be committed, I have to be diligent, I have to be dedicated. All of these things that I definitely learned growing up as a competitive athlete and being, in organized sports.
Creating the company.
That is my company. I think that we have a very romanticized idea of what it means to be an entrepreneur and to own your own business and work for yourself. While I do enjoy and I appreciate having the creative freedom to do a range of things that I may not be able to do if I worked for a franchise facility somewhere else, it ultimately is all my responsibility, and I have to make the final decision about a number of things. And sometimes that can be scary, sometimes that can be, I can be unsure because I don't necessarily have a background in business, and so there are decisions I have to make that are sometimes outside of my scope of understanding or knowledge. And so, of course, thankfully I have mentors and people that I can reach out to for that kind of guidance, but it still can be unsettling when you know the fate of your business is kind of resting on this decision and you're not feeling 100% sure about the decision you're making, if it's right or wrong or good or bad or whatever that is. And so it can be, that's like the gift and the curse of being an entrepreneur.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.